Can I tell you what's really scary about starting over after age 50? It's not that you don't know what you're doing. It's actually that you do. You've been through things, you've built things, you've survived things, and now you may be finding yourself in a place where you're asking yourself, how the hell did I get here? The question that I'm asking myself at age 57. But I'm learning that I'm not starting from scratch. I'm starting from experience. So, how can we take all the things that we've been through to build what comes next? But before we can talk about what comes next, we really have to be honest about how we feel about this season in our life where we're finding ourselves building our lives all over again. So, starting over at this age can feel really disorienting because you've already built a life. You've already successfully done adulthood. And now life is handing you a blank slate through circumstance or situation, or by maybe even your own choice to give you an opportunity to choose a fresh start. And sometimes that can feel bittersweet. There's a difference between choosing a fresh start and having life hand you one. And the two things can be true. You can feel, excited about this new opportunity or what's in the future, but you could also be sad because you're leaving your old life behind, which means sometimes leaving certain people, practices, behaviors, some things in the past. And so it's important to really think about how we feel about those things. You might have a vision about how your life was supposed to be at this age. Maybe you thought you should have had certain things, a house, a spouse. Maybe you should have been retired by now, right? Hardest part isn't losing what you had. It's sometimes losing the idea of what you thought your life would be at this stage in your life. So you might have certain feelings about where you are right now. And then others of us might be thinking, wow, I didn't expect to be here. The most important thing that we can do for ourselves is to tell the truth and be honest about the fact that we didn't expect to be rebuilding our life again and move forward. When I made the statement earlier about building your life over based on experience, I really meant it because at this age, one of the key that we have is wisdom and to recognize that we're not building our lives maybe the way we would have at age 25 based on urgencies. Clocks are ticking, a sense of control. At this stage in our life, we have wisdom. And so there are many things that we can take from our earlier lives and apply to this specific season. I know me, I like to project manage and, have a sense of control and there's a sense of order and a sense of a timeline that I'm going to have. And now that I'm 57, I know that it doesn't really work that way, even though I really, really want it to at times. And so at this age, we can take that applied wisdom. We can think about the fact that sometimes our life doesn't really require action at this time. Sometimes it requires surrender, surrendering to the moment, thinking about what is life trying to teach me in this moment? Am I hearing from God or from my creator about what I should be doing? What are repetitive cycles? That's one of the things I look for in my life all the time. If I have found myself in a specific situation over and over and over and over and over again, it's the universe, it's God trying to bring my attention to something that needs to change, not about the other person or the situation. Typically, it's about me. So when we think back to all of the things that we've experienced, we can really be honest and say, I've been through some stuff and now I can apply wisdom. I spent most of my life trying to make things happen. And what this season has really taught me and is still teaching me is that some things are not mine to make happen. And it's not necessarily going to happen on my time. And it may not happen at all. And to surrender and let go to those things that may not be for me and move towards the things that are based on God's timing and where I need to be. So, with all of that said, let's be honest. All of this starting over is exhausting. I'm finding myself since I'm unemployed, I have a schedule that I have created for myself. And I was telling my daughter a couple of weeks ago, I said, I feel like I'm semi retired and I'm really enjoying it because I'm getting to do things on my own terms. And so having to job search, having to network, having to relationship build, having to redo my resume, having to do all the things that I've done for 20, 30, 40 years is exhausting. Being tired or exhausted doesn't mean that I'm incapable. Being tired doesn't mean that my life doesn't matter and that I'm discarded. No, it's really just acknowledging the fact that my body, my mind, where I am at this stage in my life is different. And that this is my second act. This is my time to rebuild, to reinvent. And the fact that I'm 57, hey, the fact that you're in your 50s, it means that we get to reinvent who we are and create a phenomenal next chapter. So, you know what we have at this age? We have evidence. We have evidence of things and situations that we've been through, things that have made us who we are, things that told us or showed us what we're capable of, what we're made of. We have evidence. We have a track record of having lived experiences that are going to take us through the next phase of our life. In your 50s, you have receipts. You have things that you've done well. You also may have had things that you didn't do well, but those collective receipts, those collective experience have made you who you are. So in your 50s, you've experienced some successes. You've experienced some failure. You've made brilliant decisions. You've also made some decisions that maybe weren't popular or maybe weren't for you. But at this age, we've learned not only people, but we've learned ourselves. Starting over at 50, my friend, is not trying to get back to the life that you used to have. Maybe it's about building the life that you want to have moving forward because you are still here. So if you're waiting for that husband, you're waiting for that house, you're waiting on your health to get better, you're waiting on so many different things, but that doesn't mean that while you're waiting, that your life stops. Give yourself permission. You don't have to ask anybody. You can take what you've learned and live your life differently. So if you're starting over at 50, or maybe you're not 50, maybe you feel like you're in some kind of midlife crisis. What are you working on right now? Put it in the comments. Are you working on your finances? Is it career? Is it your health? Is it community? Is it relationships? What are you working on rebuilding? And I'd love to chat with you in the comments. So stay tuned to my next video that talks about how to know when you're in your next season, even if nothing is wrong. Because sometimes we don't know that we're in the next season and we're holding on to the past. But if you're over 50 and you're starting over, my friend, you've got evidence, 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 and you will be successful. God bless.